So we've got some positive team news ahead of the game against PSG, and of course some transfer stuff, because that's just the time of year we're in. So we'll go into all of it, including Ben Mattinson's thoughts, which he's tweeted out on X. Everyone go follow Ben Mattinson. I can't believe the amount of times we're linked to players, that he's done a whole thread of tweets breaking this player down, explaining him. And yeah, we might have something exciting coming on the Goonerverse. With the great help of Ben. We'll tell you all about that when the time is right. Let's start with the team news, because I've talked so much about transfers, and I can already hear some of you through the screen just going, oh, James, just relentless transfer news. When are we signing someone? And I get it, albeit it's the 6th of May and the season's still going on. So let's give you the team news, sorry. Charles Watts posted some footage on X, of course. Been covering Arsenal for a long time, does some brilliant work, and as he is there at London Colney watching the Arsenal players train, he's seen that Jurriën Timber, Martin Odegaard and Riccardo Calafiori were all training. Havertz isn't ready though. There was some hope that Havertz was to be available to play some games before the end of the season. Mikel Arteta's actually spoken about that, said that there's a real opportunity and possibility of it. But with Jurriën Timber obviously not being in the squad for Bournemouth, there was doubts about how fit he was for the game against PSG. I always thought it was going to be precautionary. He's training, and that absolutely seems the case. I expect him to start. Ben White is certainly not at his best yet, although I still think he offers something going forward that we lack in the rest of the squad. Is a kind of overlapping fullback type. Jurriën Timber, the job he's going to have to do against Kvaratskhelia, it's only right that he keeps his place if he's fit and ready to go. Martin Odegaard, we know, had a bit of an ankle issue after that sort of crunching tackle was made. It was a good tackle. It was more of a block, really, when he went to get a shot away against Bournemouth. There was some doubts, actually some rumours, some tweets emerged on X saying that Odegaard was a doubt for the game, but he is training. And the big one, Riccardo Calafiori's back. Now, a lot of you will go, why is that a big one? You know, you got lewis-skelly fit, and Calafiori wasn't going to start anyway if he was fit and ready to go. Even if he had 5 games under his belt, there was going to be no question that lewis-skelly would start. And it's a big one because Calafiori is something of a Ben White at left back, a little bit more marauding, a little bit more up and down, can maybe give us something different, albeit when you've got Kieran Tierney, you're probably more likely to use him, aren't you? But also it just means you're more protected, aren't you? You need to see out the game, you might bring on Calafiori, you need, if Kivior goes down, you bring him on a left centre-back, you're just a little bit more covered. And Calafiori, I still believe, is a very talented player. I think he has shown, when he has had a little bit of a run of games, I think you've looked at that and gone, yeah, he's played well. I mean, okay, it gets done by wingers. It's quite interesting how Timber and lewis-skelly are very similar in how well they deal defensively with wingers, and actually what they do in kind of central spaces and their sort of close control is what they're given real praise for. Whereas White and Calafiori, who actually more so than lewis-skelly and Timber are kind of more centre-backs converted to full-backs, are actually more marauding up and down options. It's just interesting how you got kind of 2 very similar profiles on each side with very similar strengths and weaknesses. But anyway, that was a bit of a side point. You want more players fit. Calafiori's got a big goal in him every now and again, right? So who knows? We're going to find ourselves bringing on defenders to try and win games, but wouldn't that be typical? Anyway, that was all the team news. Havertz not quite ready. So I expect Calafiori and Jorginho to be on the bench, because Hand of Arsenal said that Jorginho could well be fit. We've discussed that very briefly in a Goonerverse video coming out later today. And Timber and Odegaard, I expect them to start. Obviously, Havertz isn't involved. Right, the Mosquera stuff, because that's who this is about. Arsenal are preparing an offer for Valencia centre-back Christian Mosquera. It comes from, with 25,000 followers on X, Ser Deportivos Valen. I don't know how reliable. I really don't. Apart from the 25,000 followers they've got, won't even let me translate. They're based in Valencia. Look, again, maybe something that is, maybe an outlet that's quite well placed to sort of know what's going on. We've now been linked to Joel Hato, Dean Hyson, and Christian Mosquera as defenders. Arsenal clearly want to add one. Now, some of you are probably thinking, oh no, after the Saliba stuff, this is Arsenal trying to get ahead. And sort of prepare the next in line, the replacement. I don't think it's quite that, because if I'm just getting his transfer marked in front of me, I think he might have played at fullback before. Have a little look. Yeah, he has. He's played fullback before. Let me see how many times. Oh, not many. He's made 90 appearances as a first teamer. Only 9 of them have been a right back. Okay, but he can play there. So, the amazing Ben Mattinson comes in. Ben, I'm so sorry I'm nicking all your work. But your insight's brilliant. It's on the 30th of October 2024. So this comes from this season. Ben said, Christian Mosquera seems to be so underrated and underappreciated by the masses compared to other defenders his age. At only 20 years old, he's one of the best backline aggressors of his age, whilst having the quality on the ball too. A dominant ground jeweler a dominant ground jeweler and very dominant as well with wide channel defending. And he posts a little bit more about him if you want to go read it. He then goes on to say that Christian Mosquera, this is in a tweet today. Because, yeah, that was a tweet today. So there's a thread on him, and I really recommend you go. I'm not just going to nick everything he says. Go follow Ben Mattinson, at Ben_Mattinson, MATTINSON_. Do you know what? I'm going to put the link, I'm going to put the at in the comment section, in the description. So you all just go on X and see what he has to say about this player. And like I said, we want to do some stuff with Ben as well around the transfer season. So look out for that on the Goonerverse. But he says, Christian Mosquera links make a lot of sense. With Tomiyasu injured, the role we need is a Saliba backup at right centre-back. Someone who could be the backline aggressor and leader that Gabriel is, but from right centre-back. He'll defend wide channels, dominate ground duels. He also says that this is why he wants Jeremy Jacquet. So I'm no expert on that player either, but plays in France. So there we go. Christian Mosquera is 20 years old at 191 meters in feet. I got this wrong when I was talking about someone else. He's 6'2", I believe. Yeah, I think he's 6'2", so there we go. We always like a bit of height in our defenders, don't we? Especially Arsenal's defenders all seem to need that. Except the better defenders are, like I mentioned, Timber and lewis-skelly at times, who I don't think hit 6 foot, but there we go. He plays for Valencia. He's made this season 33 appearances in La Liga and 36 last season, so he's had 2 full seasons sort of as a regular. And yeah, 20 years old, so that means he probably started as an 18, 19-year-old, getting regular minutes in La Liga. And you know, and as a dominant defender who's 6'2", who's good in ground duels and good in possession, this is exactly what Arsenal need. If Arsenal don't lose a Kivior or a Saliba to Real Madrid, is this position so desperate? I'm not sure. I think Zinchenko, well, Tierney's definitely going. Zinchenko, I think, will go too. So that leaves you with Tomiyasu should be back in October, November, but it's just so hard to rely on him. But then we said that about Thomas Partey last season. Look at him this year. I mean, once he got the proper treatment and the surgery and did everything he had to do, he came back more reliable than ever from a fitness perspective. So I'm tempted to say that Timber and White at right back, Tomiyasu, Saliba centre back, Kivior, Gabriel left centre back, and Calafiori and lewis-skelly at left back. I'm tempted to say that those 8 players are enough, but I can see why they'd want an extra for 2 reasons. A, Tomiyasu not proving his fitness, and lewis-skelly maybe playing more in midfield. If Kivior goes, then you are going, well, we want 2 players for every position, right? So you probably do need to add one. But in that case, do you then go for a Joel Hato instead? Dean Hyson, who's 2-footed? I don't know. But Arsenal certainly want to add a defender. Nothing I can see online about how much this would cost. But let's see. Guys, those are my brief thoughts. I don't have too much to say on Christian Mosquera. I'm no expert on the player. But we will be doing some Goonerverse content to actually understand these players, how good they are, who we should really be getting. And yeah, getting some expertise, especially as the link's hot up, you know, who are we really going for? With all these names, everything coming out, who are Arsenal actually trying to sign is what we want to establish. All right, everyone, there we go. Calafiori's back. I think Jorginho probably will be too, although I don't think he was spotted in training. And Erdegaard and Timber look fit for the game. And we've been linked to Christian Mosquera. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you know a lot about this player. And yeah, there's a video coming out later. All eyes on PSG. Have a little watch of that because it's time we focus on the big one.